Sign says we are live, y'all. I see in the chat we have Kevin Smith and Norman already, so welcome, guys. Dealing with some internet issues. Yeah, definitely dealing with some internet issues. I'm sure Norman can relate. We're getting some weather down here in Florida, so hopefully it won't be too bad. Sorry, had to volume up on that one so I'm gonna have no more echo, but we're going to give it a few minutes for everybody to get in there. Showtime, Sluggo. I'm going to give it a few minutes for everybody to get in here, and then we'll do our formal introduction. And we got an awesome guest today. We flew him all the way in from, where is it you live, Bruce?
Middle of the country, Indiana.
That's right. Flew him all the way in from Indiana to have him here in the studios.
Yeah, it was a long
How's
trip.
The video, guys? Does it look good?
Are your arms tired from all that flying?
I'm old, you know. I had to stop a lot.
What's going on?
How's
Kevin?
the video? How's the video and the audio? Is everything looking good? Are we digitized? Are we sounding like we're underwater? What's it sound like?
You sound better. Yours is still a little fuzzy, but you sound much better.
Yeah, it's gonna definitely be this weather that's rolling in on us. Got to step up my game and get some.
Go Hoosier! Go Hoosier!
Go Hoosier! I got to definitely step up my game and get some of that that there interweb stuff. This whole.
There's our buddy Brian. Hi, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
There he is. What's up, Brian? Brian gave us a great piece of advice, or sent it to me anyway. And when we get there, we'll definitely do it. But Brian said we have to have and he's not wrong. We need a canned intro, if you will, so every video starts kind of the same way. But Bruce, I think we looked into that, and that's definitely a pay thing.
I'm working on that.
Yeah, and I want to do the countdown clock too. So
yeah, we're working on that.
Yep. All right, guys.
Hi,
it
Bob.
Looks like we got about 18 in the chat, and we want to go ahead. All right. Well, here goes
Dart.
The formal introduction. Hey, Dart, Leon, everybody, welcome. Welcome to the AMC, or Automotive Model Car Talk. So today we have a awesome guest. You know, back when we first started these videos and doing this, we introduced ourselves. By that I mean myself and Jason. But we kind of left somebody out that's like the superstar behind the scenes. So we wanted to make sure that tonight that we brought him forward so everybody can meet him. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, we give you Mr. Bruce Scott from Bruce's Eclectic World.
Greetings, everyone. That's my favorite saying.
So, Bruce, we're going to do the same routine, right? We're going to give you all the hard questions, right? So should we start with the hardest one?
Sure, why not?
What color spark plug wires do you use?
Black. I'm traditional. What can I say? I knew that was coming. I was ready for it.
No, the first one, I think the best way to start this off is to ask you who inspired you in your young adult life, or was it what age did you get inspired to build model cars?
Well, I was that poor kid that had to wear husky clothes all the time. And I was not an outside kid because I had migraines all the time. So my mother, she was the artist of the family. She did all kinds of crafts and stuff with us kids. She had the Cub Scout group. I was part of that. And she's kind of got me into the model thing, believe it or not, is my mother.
Oh, nice.
I did all the building, and she did a lot of the painting. I was going to get it down. I forgot to, but I got a horse about this tall, and it's can't remember the name of the horse. It's not Mr. Ed, it's another one. Anyway, I built it. She painted it, and I still have it yet today, sitting right up there. And she was a big inspiration. She she took from the grocery money to buy the $1 model kits. And if I was really lucky, I got a jar of 5-cent paint, those
Nice.
square tester square bottles.
Yeah.
So, and we would sit and talk and do that, and then one of the other gentlemen that I'm associated with today, my buddy Steve, he would come over, and then we'd sit and build models together. And we did that all the way up till, let's see, high school, freshman maybe. But yeah, we was about 9 years old, I guess. But yeah, I was never an outside kid because of the migraine thing.
Okay. So
That's
about
cool.
how old were you when you kind of started spray painting, or
spray paint? Well, let's see, 19, 18.
okay? And then how old
You
were
weren't huffing the
trying to-
cans, were you? You weren't huffing the cans.
No,
I know.
Yeah.
I would no, never do that.
Can you guys believe that they actually have to be 18 out of a can of spray paint from the hardware store? That's so crazy. I got one for you, if Jason doesn't mind me kind of cutting in here, but I've got one for you, Bruce, and I happen to know the answer to the question, but I don't think a lot of our viewers know. Tell us about some of your other hobbies and some of the stuff that you've done. As far as work related and whatnot, you are very much like me in that you've done a lot of different things in your life. And so tell us a little bit about that and how it translates and how it affects the hobby, if you don't mind.
I'm gonna have to cut all this out and put it on my channel because I've never done this on my channel. I need to do one of those.
Copy paste.
Yeah, copy paste. Just click. Well, I was a mechanic for many years. Worked on cars, Fords mostly. Clark Forklift Company, worked for them for a long time. Caterpillar, worked for those a long time. So I know Mike's pain when he sits there going like this all day long. And
it's true.
because we had to test all that stuff out, and it just crawling across the half mile of dirt just getting to the test field was a pain in the what.
Yeah.
And I got tired of being a mechanic, so I bluffed my way into a computer job. I mean, I blew smoke, and first time I ever built a computer was when the guy set all the parts on the counter. I read the book, built it, had it running. I said, "Hey, by the way, I seen where you made that jumper setting switch. I fixed that so it boots." And I got the job. He asked me about 3 weeks later. He said, "You was blow smoke up my butt, wouldn't you?" I said, "Oh yeah, big time." and then models was in and out. Because I raised 7 kids, and I got some of my older boys kind of into it for a while, and so I've jumped in and out. And then eventually I came back in 2004, pretty much full time for about till the last 3 years, and I came back again. So I'm here to stay because I'm retired, got nothing else to do. That's pretty much me.
I find it so cool that, because to me, if I'm looking at a computer on its insides, it's because I probably smashed it with a baseball bat. I am so ignorant when it comes to that stuff. So for somebody that's like yourself, that's capable of tearing that thing apart, and if I got 3 windows open at the same time, I'm lost as last year's Easter egg. So that's what makes you such a valuable part of our team, and we can't thank you enough. And I know I speak for Jason. All those, you are famous, at least in our little clique, for making those really cool, what do they call them, e-flyers, like you did for Minnie's model auction, where coming those. You're so cool with that stuff, man.
Well, I call them thumbnail pictures.
Yeah, thumbnails. Yeah.
I don't know where those come from. I just sit down and start doing that, and all of a sudden that looks good, and I'm going, okay, I'm done. I might spend an hour or 5 minutes, or 2 hours. I never know. I'm in the process of redesigning my own shop card, so look for that soon.
I got to do that myself.
So,
Right. Probably the
Uh,
biggest compliment I ever got from you was when you saw the logo for the live that we're doing. You were like, "That's amazing." I'm like, "Hey, I did that." That
yeah,
coming from you could have said my car was cool, but to say that was cool is like, "Oh, I feel pretty good about that."
Absolutely.
that is so cool how you did that. So I'm jealous.
Yeah, but you
Well, I'm
still
hot all
doctored
the
it
time.
up
I'm
for
sure
us.
Jason's got something for you.
I'm good at doctoring things up. You know, I take things and kind of make it my own.
Yeah, you made it
I've
better.
always been good at that.
Yeah, much better. That's for sure.
I can't write a piece of code for a Linux program, but I can take everybody else's bits and pieces, stick it together, and make it work for me. So
Yeah.
I'm just a hack.
So since we're talking about some favorites or whatever, what do you prefer, cars, or do you? Because you brought up the horse thing. Do you do planes? Do you do a little bit of everything, or you just focus on cars?
I say I've built one plane in my life as a young child. I built a boat as a young child, and that's all of those I've ever built.
Okay.
Sci-fi?
I did build a half track once with one of my kids. I don't know what happened to that. I think it ended up on fire, maybe.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Firecrackers.
I'm
Firecrackers.
mostly, yeah, I'm mostly automobiles, cars, semis.
Okay.
That's pretty much my thing. I'm a big 30s, 40s, 50s, 60 guy, and that's pickup trucks and convertibles are my main passion, and 49 Mercs.
Yeah.
Right. I remember that. We got not to chase rabbits here, but we got a really good question from Mike's where'd it go? I'm sorry, hang on just a second. Mike's Mods and Customs. He asked the chat and he's asking us. And we'll ask you, Bruce, and we'll do a roundtable. But what types of polish do you like to use, or do you use any at all on your mods?
Polish,
Obviously,
but as in probably polishing cars.
yeah. No polish on for your body.
Paint.
What
Right.
are you using? Yeah, okay.
To be honest, I mean this is new, folks. I've never polished a car until
Oh
recently.
wow.
Uh, I bought some McGuire's cleaning polish and some McGuire's synthetic polish that I put on my yet you ain't seen 66 failing convertible. Video coming out this week.
Nice.
By the way,
What about
plug.
what about you, Jason?
Uh,
what are you polishing your kits with?
Well, I was using McGuire's a lot, and I've tried like the race glaze stuff from the big cars, but lately I've been using the novice stuff, or the Novus, the 1, 2, 3. Yeah. That stuff seems to work really well. I'm strictly doing it by hand, though. I haven't gotten the courage up yet to put a Dremel setup together and have anything with power on it yet, because I'm scared to death of burning through it. So it's just been strictly by hand. How about you, Mike?
Well, I'm with you. I'm the novice in step 1, step 2, step 3. You got all 3 of the different levels that you go through. But I, unlike you, was not smart enough to just do it by hand and be done with it. Even after I was told by several people that we mutually respect, one of them being our first guest with Jason Hanscom, said, "Don't worry about putting a Dremel on it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it." You guys may remember that 48-hour group build I did of the Skyline, that beautiful green. If you could see it now, you'd be like, you are a dummy. Because I put the Novus on there and I tried to polish it with my polishing wheel from the Dremel. And needless to say, I need to sand it down. And it never got into the paint, but it never came out right. I got into the clear coat and messed it up with the Dremel. So had really good luck doing the Novus stuff by hand. And again, it wasn't the Novus's problem. It was my mistake with the like I said, I sand it all down and I'll shoot another coat of clear on it and it'll be fine. but I shouldn't have used that as my guinea pig. I probably should have tried something else. But our desk bay tool, I think, is a better tool if you're going to use it. And I've done some
Lower, yeah.
research looking for something designed just for that. I know and we'll get into some tech talk later, and we'll have a nice announcement about that towards the end of the show. But I looked into one. It's like it's Mr. Hobby makes it. It looks like a electric toothbrush, and I'm interested to get some more information on it and see. But yeah, long and short, polish them by hand, no problems. Stay away from automotive car wax because I find that, and again, it's probably just me, but the white residue that gets left behind. I found that I've got these little little microfiber brushes that get into the door jams and everything with, but it's kind of a pain in the butt. Now that spray on stuff is really nice too. That ceramic spray on dry wash, whatever they call it, that works really well as well, and it doesn't leave that residue behind. But
I just usually take a real soft toothbrush and some water to clean up some of those cracks. But
I use toothpicks because I'm still learning the waxing part. But I use a Novus also. I use the number 2, and I used the regular car wax, and then I used the number 1 as a shiner. So,
right.
But I use acrylic paints where you guys don't use acrylic paints. Right. So there's a difference with that. So you got to kind of watch the liquidy part of things you use. Even though I use Quick Shine as my top coat, it's a pretty durable thing, but if you get it wet enough, it will eat through it.
Okay.
Yeah, I use that Quick Shine. I use that Quick Shine a bunch. I like that stuff as well. The Quick Shine is actually on that 67 Charger I'm building, the wheels and tires I got from you, Jason. I was going to clear coat them, but got excited and was trying to put it together and realized I hadn't, shot the clear on them, and then I took that Quick Shine and put it on there, and I really do like that. It does give it a little bit of a shell, so it kind of protects the paint a little bit as well.
Yeah. Sluggo says he uses Pledge on his stuff.
If I can find Pledge right now is like hen's teeth. Unless somebody knows a hookup that I don't know about, but Quick Shine kind of morphed into it.
I got 6 ounces for sale.
Bob just said to put water in your airbrush to blow the polish out of the panel lines. That's a pretty good idea too.
Kind of I never thought. Thanks, Bob. King Bob, King Bob again. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Scale Effects said the same thing too. Just power wash it with distilled water and the airbrush. Yep. Good call, guys. Good call. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Good job, both you guys. That's an awesome tip right there. I never.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Yeah. That's what I love about this community. Everybody has something to share. Everybody.
Yeah.
No matter how old you are. I mean, I came just right before dirt, and I learn things every day.
Right before dirt. So right before, I mean,
$100 a bottle.
Right. So
count on Gilly to sell.
There was rocks.
Exactly.
First there was rocks, then there was Bruce, then there was dirt.
Yep. Good one, Gilly. I like that. I got 6 ounces for 500.
I've been told that I'm 2 days older than dirt, so
2 days older.
I'll sell you some Pledge, Mike. Yeah, I know that stuff's like crazy expensive right now. It's just like everything else, something good that works, and then they stop making it. But I've had good luck with that Quick Shine, though. It does. I've not shot it through an airbrush, though. Have either of y'all shot the Quick Shine through an airbrush?
No.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Oh, yeah. I know it's self-leveling, so
you can brush it on, but I don't. You can't do more than one pass. You try to do 2 passes, it's already starting to dry when you're doing it with a brush. You got to do a little on the heavy side with a brush. But once you get used to the touch, it's okay.
Do you have to set it down, or you just shoot it right out of the bottle?
Right out of the bottle.
Right out of the bottle. I used to put it when I do use an applicator beside it, and again I haven't used an airbrush, but when I use an applicator, I use these little, they call them brushes, but they're basically really little fuzzy ends on the end of a plastic stick. I'm sure everybody's got them. Yeah, that's them. I use them and have good luck. You can get where you need to go with them.
I
And
use a little
again,
brush.
self levels. That's what I think is cool.
Yeah, that's a little brush.
That's a brush. That's a,
That's what I
why don't
use.
you just get your
Gilly's got
paint
7
roller and
bottles
roll
to
it off your
sell.
paint roller. That's awesome. I'm using
It's good to know, Norm.
overflowing. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
So,
that's really good.
sci-fi
That's
stuff,
another
Bruce.
good flavor.
Are you into the sci-fi side of it or no? Have you done sci-fi?
Sci-fi? Oh yeah, I'm a big Star Trek nut.
Yeah, I figured you would. I kind of knew the answer to the question, but
Yeah, you know.
so you
How
yeah. Right. How's that go? Nanu? Is that right?
No. Live long and prosper. I get asked that
that's
question
right.
all the time. What does LLAP mean?
What the heck is the Nanu from?
Yeah,
That was Mork
and Mindy.
Oh,
Yeah, and his was just the opposite. His was like
Yeah,
this.
yeah. His
And,
was like that or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
he used to do that to like put you to sleep. He put it on your shoulder.
Oh, that's the Vulcan Deathlocker or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah. Nerve pinch.
Nerve pinch.
Vulcan nerve pinch.
Yeah. But yeah, I like. Sadly enough, I have 2 Enterprises. I have a Klingon warship, and I am going to be building the shuttle here soon. Can't see it, but I don't have anything built. So I bought a few from other people, but I've not ever built one. I get stuck with cars and trucks, I guess. I have them to build.
I've never done a sci-fi. The closest thing, and I was told it doesn't count. The closest thing to a aircraft that I've ever built is the egg planes. So I've always admired those guys. That's a lot of work they do. The tank guys and
That's cool, Bob.
yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Now, is that the one? And I only asked this question because I know you and I believe it was Dart. We're talking. Is that the one that has the? I know there's one that has interior and one that doesn't.
This one does not.
Okay, because Dart, I only know that because Dart said that he had one.
Dart was,
you could like take
Dart was cooling both of us that night.
Right.
My son-in-law bought that for me about 4 years ago. So that's how long I've had that.
Wow.
Yeah,
I think I've only built one plane, and that was a long time ago, and it was like a teeny little plane, and I never painted it or nothing. And there was no motor in it, and I think I got discouraged with it, and that was it for planes.
I actually went on the hunt. I've got the it's a Thunderbird, but it has that aircraft like Allison V12 or something, whatever it was.
Yeah.
It came in like and I'm saying it wrong, I'm sure, and maybe chat can correct me, but it came in like a P-51 Mustang. So after getting that kit and seeing that motor, I was like, I went on the hunt for those planes to see if I could find another one of those motors, but apparently when they put them in a plane, it's totally different. So
I know when I go to do I have an SR-71 Blackbird, and I want to get the motors as well, and then have the motors sitting on the side of the plane too, like a display. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the heck GM called that big ass bus. Remember that bus they made? And then it back way back. The Futureliner. That's what it was. Yep. And they had one where it had a jet motor in it.
Yep.
And they would travel the country and display it. Kind of a cool thing to do too is to build some sort of a modern day bus or something.
Right.
And put a jet motor in it.
There was a time when I was looking back when I had the shop, I was looking for a camper, but I didn't want to pay, the bus prices for these new campers. And I've got friends that are plumbers and I've got friends that are, carpenters and whatever. I was looking for one of them old school, and GMC made them too, but those buses that had like the extra level on the top. So it was like a regular bus in front and then had that. and I just knew that would make an awesome camper, but
Yeah.
never got around to doing it. I've seen them done. They were pretty cool, but and I've never seen a model. So if anybody knows of a company that makes that type of stuff, them old school buses like that, I would definitely. That'd be really cool to make one in scale.
Hey, Billy. We'll see you
Hey,
later.
Billy.
What's up, Billy?
Bye, Britta.
Link scale model. Okay. See you later, Britta.
Look, it's as big as that fucking Suburban was. You could have just. Well, the Suburban is. I still own it, but it's currently loaded up with all kinds of stuff that we didn't sell from the shop. But the Excursion is what I'm driving back and forth to work now. If I could take those and butt them up together and weld them together, then that would be like that'd be probably like a bus. They're pretty big vehicles.
Yeah, that would be interesting. So
Don't go die, Mark. You go to sleep, but don't go die.
So Bruce, what's kind of your favorite color? Like for me, a lot of people know on my channel it's pretty much black, but I have, since I got back into this in the last year, I've painted yellow and I've painted blue, I've painted white and copper. So I'm like expanding my horizons, if you want to say. Do you have a favorite color that you like to shoot all your stuff?
It tends to be a lot of green and blues.
A lot of green.
That's
and
my
blues.
2 favorite colors. So,
Okay.
and I like you. I've expanded out to some reds and some magentas and some purple. I'm starting to love purples. So I've done a few of those.
And you said you spray mostly acrylics. What acrylics
Yes.
do you use? You know, what are your most common and what are your most favorites?
I buy folk art and apple barrel and
Okay.
Art Deco because
Okay.
that's what Hobby Lobby carries. So that's
Right.
my paint shop. And I also use spray Createx a lot. I really like their paints.
Do you like their paints better than the folk art?
Some of the colors are what I really like the best, I think.
Okay.
And they all have their own characteristics and how you mix them and how they spray, just like the Tamiyas and the Vallejos and stuff. I use a lot of Tamiya stuff for brushing.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm an acrylic guy. As a rule,
I gotta get some of those Tamiya paints. I've heard they're really nice paints. I gotta.
and I've recently. I didn't say this.
He's got every paint on the wall.
I know.
That's
why when he croaks, I'm getting all the paints and you're getting all the empty boxes.
I know this, but I have recently started using unicorn tears, but I didn't say that.
Within arm's reach.
Yeah, that'll be the one.
I never leave home. It's like my credit card. I never leave home without my unicorn tears. They're always on my bench. But they're worth it. It really is. I mean, it's crazy what the prices are right now with them because they've gotten so popular. But it is really good stuff. It really is.
It is good stuff. I mean, I use it mainly for the Mr. Servicer primers. Well, like I said, I've started using them in my Tamiya stuff when I airbrush it.
It'll definitely help to break it down. For those that have a problem with, especially the Alclad black base, if you put just a couple drops, it doesn't need it as far as to spray it, but if you put a couple drops of the unicorn tears in a bowl in your mixing cup when you're getting mixing everything up, it will help that paint to dry. It acts like a hardener. It's either that or just put enamel hardener in there, but the leveling thinner absolutely helps it to dry quicker. I've never had a problem with Alclad drying as much as the actual colors, but the base coat can be a pain in the butt if you don't lay it down exactly the way you're supposed to, even in the easy bake oven.
Is that what Terry had a problem? Was the base coat, and then being that the base coat stayed soft?
I don't know. I heard, I wasn't there when all that went down. It could very well have been that, because even if you put the color on top and the color hardens, if it's soft underneath, you're still gonna put fingerprints in it, right?
Okay.
I was watching Mark Batson, Hobby Dude 007, and he turned me on, and I literally have it right here in front of me, is the old Tester square bottles.
Yep.
Take those, mix them approximately 50-50 with your unicorn tears, and use that gloss, because I mean Tester's gloss black is really nice. Even
Right.
it really is good stuff. Um, but you mix it 50-50, spray it through your brush, and then put your Alclad on top of that. You saw my motor and asked about it, so I'll share it with y'all now. Hang on just a second. I'm gonna put it up on
Yep.
big screen so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Solo layout. But if you look at the pulleys on the front of that motor, that is the Tester's gloss, and then Alclad. I'm going to forget the name of it now. High polish aluminum is what they called it. So, and it really came out really nice, and not a lot of wait time. It went in the easy bake oven like everything else does, 4 or 5 hours, and it was ready to go.
Yeah, the only
So,
thing I've used at Elclad is their chrome.
Yeah.
I've never used any of their other custom colors or any of that stuff, so I have zero experience with Elclad paints. So
Yeah, I've used a lot of their metalizer stuff. I do have some of their hot blue and hot red and hot orange. I used a little bit of their hot blue over chrome headers to give that bluing effect,
yep.
and it worked well. I just have to get better at where I put it. Right, I had too much on there. It was like the whole 3/4 of the header was blue instead of just around the inlets where it should be. But it was an application error, not a. But it works really good. On the chrome headers and that sort of thing. So it's kind of like it's bluing. It looks like bluing, so it works really
Yeah.
well.
I just used the Tamiya translucent and then thin it down, and that's what I use to blue my headers or make them look heat soaked.
Yep.
So
Yeah. Trying to. We got a little bit of a relaxed show today. That's why we're bringing. We wanted to obviously do host or highlight Bruce because he's so awesome and makes without him this thing doesn't happen. But we're also going to let you guys know that um, we're not just a host channel. So we're not just going to have hosts on guests every week. We are going to shift gears here over the next few weeks, and we are going to have some tech talk stuff. We're going to talk about, kind of what we're doing now, what different products you use, how much luck you've had with them, what worked for you, what didn't work for you. Um, we all know that everybody has things that works for them and doesn't work for the next guy, and everybody has their own taste. But there might be somebody new that just gets an idea or whatever, and we want to share some of that. We got some really cool tech stuff coming down the line. Jason, of course, is an awesome 3D printer. Bruce does some 3D printing, so I'm sure we'll have a conversation about that. We've got some without giving too much detail, or because we haven't signed and dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's, but we may have a very special paint guest down the road when we talk about some paint. So just want to let you guys know what's going on with us, which direction we're headed. And look at the
Uh,
airbrushes Bruce is holding.
yep.
Norm had a question, wanted to know what airbrushes I use.
Okay.
This is the GHAD 39 and the 68. Those are the two main brushes I use all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm a big gallery fan, just like Jason.
Yeah.
But I do have, and I do have one of the new Black Widows from Harbor Freight. They're awesome brush too. And so those are my three favorite guns right now. And probably forever.
We're probably gonna do a product spotlight too every month as well to kind of some of the products that we all buy stuff that's similar, and we all buy stuff that's a little different. So we'll probably do like a product spotlight. And if we can get a representative of the product to come on, then that would be our guest as well. So we're looking at some other things to try and entertain and bring some technical information to the community. That's something that has definitely came in my inbox for questions. So that was really cool to see a lot of those types of questions. Hey, can you guys do this? Or can you guys think about doing that? So we appreciate all the comments and all the responses we get privately or even on here. If you comment, it's all we're watching all of it. We're learning. Trust me, we're learning every time we come on here.
We're trying every day.
Exactly. Mr. Bill, yes, they offer for an all-around brush that has a bunch of different needles. The Swallowtail comes with a 3, 8, a 5, and a 7.
Yep.
So if you want one brush that's interchangeable, I'm big on Gallery now. Really like those. I have a Black Widow coming, is at least what one of my friends keeps telling me, in a box full of some cool 3D printed stuff, but we'll see what that happens. But
You know what?
I love the Gallery stuff too. I've got the 2 of the AW68s, one in a 3.8 and one in a 5. They are my workhorses as well. But if you want something that's kind of like all in one and it has the different needles, the Swallowtail is the way to go, and they're not that expensive. We talked about this, I think, on one of the earlier shows, talking to
You're breaking
Paul,
up really bad, Mikey.
I'm sorry. How about I shut up? You guys talk if I'm breaking up.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
The one thing I like about the new Black Widows that come with the fan caps, where with the Swallowtails you have to buy one, and they both have to use the 0.5 needles. So I'm not using it on my Swallowtail because I keep forgetting to spend the $20.
Yeah, the Black Widows are very, very nice brush. But if you're into the Gallery, you're going to want to buy the Swallowtail if you want that fan cap. The fan cap does not fit the 68 trigger brush. So just so you know. But the Galleries are still bang for the buck. They are the best brush, I think, in my opinion, on the market. And I've got Ottawas, I've got Badgers, I've got Pachets. They are top line brush. Even that cheapy little GHAD 39 or whatever. Oh my God, you can run a lot of paint through that thing. So
it does awesome with primers.
Yeah,
that's what I use it for a lot too. But it's
chat saying that I'm clear. Is chat?
Yeah.
Am I breaking up? Or is it?
So
they're
Craig, are you talking about the price on the Black Widow or the Galleries?
Pappy Tinkers just got him one of those Pache Talons. That got shipped out today, which reminds me, Bruce, your stuff shipped out today as well. So, but we had that 1,000 sub giveaway. I gave away that Talon because of the 68 and the Swallowtail that I'm using now. I never used it. I'm like, well, if I'm not going to use it, might as well go to somebody that will.
Well,
this is just
Black
what
Widow is $80 at Harbor Freight. They're the main distributors for the Black Widow brushes. They have a push button style and they have the trigger. They're both the same price. They do have another trigger brush that's coming out that's going to have 3 needles with it. I think that's coming out this month. And then the GHAD 68, I believe, is like $70 in that range too. And
79.
Yeah, the Swallowtail is in the 110 or 120 range, I think. And then, like I said, you have to buy the fan cap nozzle with the Gallery brush. With the Black Widow, all the fan caps come in the kit with the Black Widow.
Everybody says I'm sounding good, looking good, that I'm just talking too much, and you're just basically your polite way to tell me to shut up, Jason.
Deep breath. Deep breath.
Deep breaths.
Deep breath. Deep breath.
Deep breath.
Yeah, Craig, you're right. You need trigger brushes better on the fingers.
Yeah.
When they get 70, ask me how I know. There's Seamus. He made it in.
Yes, sir. It's always so good to hear from everybody in the chat and to be able to look over and just see all the different names and people that we know. It's thank you guys so much, for coming in and hanging out with us. We're not done yet. I just want to take a second to say, we appreciate y'all showing up. We've definitely tried something different here and different from what's been out there. And, it could be sink or swim, but I feel like we're gaining some good traction. Hopefully you guys like what's going on, because obviously it's for the chat and the viewers. We want to make sure we're putting a product out there that you guys like. And, again, we're not signing off, but feel free to shoot myself, Jason, or even Bruce an email, or if you have us on, chat with the Facebook or whatever. If you've got an idea or a tip, we're still learning. We're open to all different kinds of ideas. In fact, beginning of the top of the show, Brian from GotFuels.com or Got Fuel Model Cars was here, and he had messaged me and said that we needed to do like a canned intro. I used a fancy word, canned intro. Sounds like I know what I'm talking about, right? No, I had to do some research to find out what you call that. But a canned intro is basically the same thing that comes up every time, because we're big producers and we're just big stars. We know all this stuff. No, I'm kidding. But we got a great producer. It's the other two clowns in here that don't know what they're doing.
I can't
I
even
agree. And
do anything.
we're gonna keep growing and but we're gonna keep growing, and as long as you guys like it, myself and Jason and Bruce will invest in this thing, and we'll get us bigger, better, and then hopefully bring a better product to you guys. And but please feel free to send us messages, ideas, tips, things that you'd like to see. That would be awesome. If we can get some ideas about what you'd like to see in here.
Norm asked a question.
Okay, what did Norm say? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Norm wanted to know what kind of kits I like. Well,
there you go. What kind of kits do you like, Bruce?
I like the AMT kits. I know everybody don't like AMT kits, but I like AMT kits because they're challenges. But Monogram Mobius is one of my favorites right now. Revels, I love the Revel kits, especially the newer ones that just fall together. Like that 49 Merc I keep raving about. So
yeah.
But I don't buy it as a kit name. I buy it for the product. I mean,
I think we talked about that in our initial video. We said the same thing. Yeah.
I might gravitate more towards the AMT if I had a choice between Monogram and AMT, just because I've always built AMT. But I like them all.
So Bob just put his code up there. Enter King Bob free, and you get free kits on the Minis model auction. I guess.
Right, I've seen that.
Bob, your stuff is your stuff is headed that way too, or headed to you as well. But it's not too late to retract the tracking number. But so how about this, Bruce? What's on your workbench? What's on your workbench?
What's on my workbench? Well, right now I'm working on finishing up my Grandpa Mark's Hobbies Pontiac group build.
Okay.
Which, it's
can you show us? Can you show us, or is it? Hang on, let me put you on the big screen so you can show us.
It's coming out soon.
Oh, it's coming out soon. Do you have anything that you can show us?
Well,
I know we're putting you on the spot. You only had a week to prepare for this.
I had a week. This is my Mars.
Hang on, let me get you up on the big spot here. You get the look at you. You're a big man now.
There's my Mars garage rusty bucket I'm working on.
Nice.
Did a little chipping and drilling holes and starting the patina process, and that gets to start the weathering stuff. I'm going to try not to get crazy with the weathering on this one. I get so involved in that, I just keep on going. Let's see. I got.
Is that Princess
I
Diana?
got Mr. Mike's rounding round I'm working on.
Oh yeah, that's for the Saturday night one, ain't it? Yeah,
That's the Saturday night group build. It's
That's cool.
ready to get decals. I'm really going to have fun putting decals in that big dent.
Yep.
Probably should have put the decal on first and then dented it.
Yeah, well, I thought about that, but I hadn't made the decals yet.
After the fact. I had you on the spotlight long enough, Bruce. I'll take you down so you have to be some people get a little gun shy when they get up there and they're the only one on screen. So
I got 49 Merc I'm working on it. I guess I'm working on update number 2, getting it.
Well, between Bob and Billy, they're trying to give away all my kits on the mini model auction. Billy
Are
is
they?
on its way too, but it's not too late to retract that tracking number.
we need to hire those guys.
That's right.
So Joe asked a question about air compressors. So Joe, I'll tell you what I use, and then we'll do the round table here. Me personally, I don't like the airbrush air compressors because I believe that you should have a small storage tank to maintain pressure and consistency, especially when you're turning down or turning up your pressures. And then I always run a water separator. So yeah, I don't do it on my one-to-one shop as far as running it off the big compressor, because I have to step it down so many times with different regulators from 120 psi, and then to try and control the water with that bigger compressor is a little bit harder. So I don't like running the air dryer on that just to airbrush a little bit of stuff. So I just buy the little Harbor Freight like pancake style, or the little 2-gallon tanks, and they work just great. Put a little water separator at the end, and it works awesome. What about you, Mike?
I have, 2 years ago when I got back in, I told the story how I was determined to figure out the airbrush thing. I went down to Harbor Freight and bought that Avante package that they had with the little airbrush and the compressor. I've since graduated, past that little airbrush, which, was a great starter brush, into the galleries that we spoke about. But I'm still currently running that Avante air compressor. I've had extra good luck with it. If I'm completely honest, it comes with the water separator. It's literally been plugged in and on and set at some PSI between 20 and 10 pounds for 2 years. And for the most part, the only time it comes on is when it does have a little storage tank. So the only time it comes on is if it's really been sitting for a long time, or if I'm using it. I've had really, really good luck with it. I've looked into other ones that are, nicer, more expensive, but this one hasn't failed me. It's been really good to me, and it does very well. So I'm happy with it.
Nice.
It's one of those deals that if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of thing.
Yeah. How about you, Bruce? What do you use for air?
Well, I fell into the Barbados Rex syndrome of buying things. He featured a air compressor from Amazon for $79, and that's what I bought. It's got a little tank, and it came with this air separator. And I already had an air separator anyway, because I have a homemade air compressor that I made from a pancake tank and a refrigerator compressor.
Hey, Donnie.
So I thought, well, I'm going to buy a real one for my models.
Yeah.
So I had an air setup already back here for my electronics projects, which I forgot to mention a while ago. I do electronic projects too. But it's just a $79 air compressor. It runs just fine. I mean, I've had it almost 2 years now, just runs between 10 and 20 pounds all the time. And I never had trouble with it. Like
I would
Mike
say
said,
that's probably the biggest thing is to make sure you got that separator in there so you don't end
oh
up
yeah, the air
crashing your
separator
brush.
is a plus. You got to have it.
Yeah,
I mean, I even got one. I even got one on the end of the brush.
right.
You know,
See, on my brushes, I have a pressure control. So I got the pressure that's preset at the, you can set it at whatever at the compressor. And then
back
if
valve.
you can turn it down or turn it up. Well, you can't ever get up over what you got the compressor set. But if you're at 20
Right.
pounds on the compressor and then you switch to a different paint and you want to turn it down, you can turn it down right there and then go at it and then without having to mess with the compressor. But they're,
Yeah. That's a good
if,
idea.
yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it is the way I look at it, man. If it's working, everything's good. There's
Yep.
some really high dollar compressors out there. It's the same way with paint booths.
You
Everybody
got to
loves
use
the
the
paint
KISS
booth.
theory.
Yeah, keep it simple, stupid. Absolutely.
eBay special. You're right, Craig.
Yep. They work. They work, man. I mean, there's sometimes I bought one of those pancake compressors for this guy. I did a video on it, but I got one of those eraser things. It's an airbrush, but you put medium in it, and it's supposed to sandblast paint off. But it
Blaster.
requires, yeah, it's a Master G78 is the model number, but it's called the
See you later, Mike.
it's called the air eraser compound. So it comes with a little bottle of eraser stuff, but it's basically a airbrush with a really sealed on tops, right? So when you add the pressure to it, it doesn't just blow the top off of it, and it's got a water separator inside of it. I bought that right before I closed the shop, and I was going to do a how-to or try, like a demonstration thing. But now the pancake compressor's in the back of my Excursion, covered up with all kinds of other crap, so I gotta get that thing cleaned out. But other than that, that little one that I bought, that Avante one, works really, really well.
Good. Yeah, Joe. My personal opinion, Joe, is I like a little more than 1 liter, but that's just me. Nothing against the Gallery air compressor.
Norm has another question. Okay, dehydration, yes or no? I don't use.
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
use
For me, absolutely. It's my everything. My easy bake oven is right next to my paint booth. Once I'm done spraying, it goes into the easy bake oven. Everything
Yep,
does.
same here.
I live in Florida, so
you can see it right there.
yeah, you gotta have it.
Okay, guys, I guess I gotta get one.
Yeah.
With the humidity down here in Florida, even in my hobby room is air conditioned. It's basically a bedroom in the house, and well, not basically, it is a bedroom in the house, and it's air conditioned in here. But even at that, I've got a dehumidifier, one of the little room style dehumidifiers that's like this big, and the dehydrator, and especially when you're shooting enamel, you got to have it, or you'll wait forever for that stuff to dry.
I think the first time I seen anybody using the dehydrator was Craig from Craig's Corner. And he was always calling it the easy bake oven. And I'm like, what the heck is he talking about?
I couldn't figure it out either. It's like easy bake oven.
Yeah. And then when he turned it around and he was putting stuff in, I thought, oh, yeah, okay, I get it now.
I raised 2 girls. I didn't catch it. I should have known that.
Yeah. See, and that there again goes right back to what we've all said. This community, and you get into these channels and you see all the characters and the different tips you can learn from everybody. That is what makes this thing so much fun,
Here's another one. Red just said, take a cardboard box and a regular light bulb.
Yeah.
And I believe that's what King Bob uses.
Yeah.
Don't forget the bulb. Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
I got the idea from the dehydrator from the old man. What was his real name?
Don Yost.
Yes, there you go. I'm sorry, his name escaped me. What a great guy as far as tips, and his abilities were outstanding. And he's the one that I first got introduced to the Easy Bake Oven with. And he, I like I said, after using it one time, it's just so. It's always set for 10 hours. But I'll put I shoot primer on something and I want to paint it later that afternoon, later that night or whatever. I'll throw that in there. If I put it in there for 20 minutes, it's ready to be painted on. I mean, it really works really, really well.
Nice.
Like watching Dawn.
Yeah, I agree with what Craig just said there. I enjoyed watching Don's videos. That guy will surely be missed in my
Yeah, he will be.
I understand that the people that knew him said he was a no BS kind of guy, but he knew when he was telling you about something, he knew what he was talking about.
He was very
Proof was in the
passionate
pudding.
about what he learned. Yep.
Yep.
So,
Well, we're creeping up on an hour here. We're about 55 minutes and 16 seconds. So we try to keep it at around an hour, but we touched on it earlier as far as the next few they're not podcasts, they're lives, so we'll call them lives. We're going to do a little bit more on tech stuff there. We won't have any hosts or any guests rather. We're going to move on to that, and we haven't quite decided yet. Jason and I and Bruce will put our heads together and figure out what next Thursdays will be. But you guys can look forward to some tech ideas. In fact, we challenge y'all to contact any one of us on any form of email or social media. Let us know what tech tips you'd like to talk about or something that you'd like to learn about, see.
absolutely.
Give us some ideas, man. We'll be happy to look into it. And what do you got, Jason?
Same thing. Same thing. I want to just reiterate that even if it's like a product or a paint brand or anything, if we have it, I mean, the three of us have a mixture of a little bit of everything. One of us is bound to know something about it. I mean, like we discussed, Bruce is very good on the acrylics. I've shot a lot of enamels as of lately, and I think Mikey's doing a lot of lacquers and stuff. I've also shot some urethanes as well. So there's a good mixture of knowledge or different paints here. Mike, unfortunately, is the greedy one. He's got every bottle of paint in the United States of America, and now he's trying to buy all the paints across the pond and have them all shipped into the U.S. I mean, it's an addiction, right? So
it is.
Somebody's got the paint you guys might have a question on. No.
It's like
They
crack
need a
without
bigger
the hangover,
room.
I guess. It's like
but,
crack without the hangover.
No,
I did pick up some
seriousness,
pro scale
all
stuff. I'm
questions
interested
and
in
stuff are
trying.
welcome.
I did pick up some pro scale stuff, so I'm interested in trying that out. But absolutely, guys, if you have an idea, a thought, we're here to try to help y'all. So if there's any kind of input that y'all can give us, we'll be happy to steer the boat in that direction. We are creeping up on our 1 hour, so unless you guys got anything more, Jason?
Yep.
Okay. Well, we want to thank everybody. 3D printing. Oh, that was definitely in the that's
on the
definitely
list.
in the arsenal.
Yes,
And that's definitely on the list. And so we're going to go ahead and sign off to the chat. Thank you guys again. Reminder, just send us something, man. Send us what you want to see, what you want to hear. Bruce, thank you again for both being our awesome producer as well as our guest for today. You're different. The
Glad to
different
be
stuff
here.
that you do is amazing. You just got so much going on. You're either building a computer, building a model. I mean, it's just amazing to me, all the different skill levels that you have and all the different stuff.
I got a radio to go fix too.
You see there? Now he's radar from MASH. He's gonna go fix the radio. He's gonna be tuning into Tokyo.
He's got a
and
call
Jason,
in.
as always, Jason, it's always good to have you on. Well, obviously you're gonna be on here. You're the co-host, but it's always good to hang out with everybody. And we definitely look forward to next week. You want to sign off, Jason?
Thank you, each and every one of you in the chat that's been out there tonight. You guys have been great. It's a lot of fun reading your comments too. So thank you for coming to the show. Appreciate and love each and every one of you guys. We pretty much know all you people. So take care. God bless. We'll see you on next week's show.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, guys. Again, I apologize for my service. I feel like I'm talking on people and I'm breaking up. So hopefully next week we'll have some better service. Thank y'all again for showing up. We appreciate you. Y'all be good at it, and we'll see you next week on the AMC.